What is going on, guys? It's Kevin here with ModMyMods with another wonderful news update today. Luckily, nobody has to be subjected to my torment today, and you just get to deal with me. There are on my mind a few things that are going on in the world, and hopefully be able to get it all done in about 15 minutes. Who knows? Let's see. Again, who knows? I can't guarantee anything. Can't guarantee the show will actually be any good. But hopefully it'll keep you entertained for a little bit. So, to start off the show, what I wanted to do is, well, because I have nobody with me and I want to share my monitor, I'm going to share it huge screen. The whole thing. So be careful. There it is. So what I wanted to share is that we've added this lovely red bar. It is not anything to be scared of. It's just basically saying that, well, the thing that is going on that we were not going to really talk about, and whose name who will not be said, basically is impacting some of the things that are flowing and how we ship orders and stuff like that. So sometimes there are orders that we can't actually necessarily get all the way through and get it all the way out just because of certain things that are missing or whatever it might be. I know that like some of the EVGA power supplies and stuff like that we can right now over in California, they're also on shutdown. So it's like they only have a couple people there. Kind of like we only have a couple people here, so take it for what it's worth. People are struggling everywhere, but just bear with us, basically, is what it comes down to. Understand we are a small business, and like many other businesses that are under quarantine, we can't really do a whole heck of a lot besides what we're doing. So we appreciate your support, and thank you again for dealing with what we're doing. Hey, it's the news update. That's what we're doing. So on top of that, I wanted to touch on LTX, and actually, to be honest with you, I wanted to ask some people about LTX because I haven't actually heard any updates about this yet. I don't know if they have any updates about this yet. It still says you can buy tickets. I don't even know what happens when you click this link. Oh, look at this. Wow, would you just look at that? They got information. COVID update. Okay, yep. Oh, shoot. I said the thing. And now we're going down on the views. I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah, so what is this update? Health and safety. What is this? All purchases are final, blah, blah, blah. So if you bought your stuff and, well, there's not really going to be any refunds. And is the event postponed? Well, if they will let you know. However, well, you apparently can still buy tickets. So I'm not really sure how that works. I'm not really sure. You could somebody know Linus, send him a message, ask him if LTX is actually happening. Not that he would actually know, but he might. Who knows? But you know that it would be nice to know if we're actually supposed to go to this, like if Travis is supposed to go to this, or what's going on. John, thank you for joining us. Real Hardware Reviews. They did convert the space into an emergency hospital. I do know that. But besides that, I would imagine that they would be able to figure it out before then, but who knows? I don't know. Again, thank you for joining us on the stream today. Hopefully it won't be too painful today. So, there's LTX. I don't know. Nobody knows. So if you know or know somebody that does know, let us know. And let everybody else know, because everybody's kind of got their hands up in the air going like, what the heck? So, alright, so that's the update of the thing. We're still here, we're still working. The other thing that I wanted to talk about is this lovely image here that I posted on our Instagram. Now, a lot of people got a little testy about it, saying, oh my goodness, this bare wire. What are you going to do? Well, we're modders, right? So yeah, you gotta screw things up once or twice before you get it right, but this was not a screw up. This was intentional. He did these wires by hand, and actually they are coded. I talked to Tony from Killer Mods. Actually, Joe talked to Tony and then relayed the information to me. But Tony has been incredible about doing some awesome stuff. But I wanted to at least dive into this a little bit more because, well, the first comment is, it looks sick, but isn't that like super dangerous? Well, yes, typically it would be. However, he's kind of thought that through. And each one of these cables that he's got here has actually been coded. It's clear coated throughout the entire thing, so he actually showed us an example of him touching it and going back and forth and saying, "Hey, look, I have it in the case. It's running. It's on. It's not actually conducting any sort of electricity across them." But I wanted to give him a huge shout out because on top of the incredible acrylic work that he did to make these cable combs and whatnot, these cables look unbelievable. I mean, when they're in the case, it's just unbelievable what it looks like. You can go ahead and check him out. It's Killer Modding on Facebook here. He's also got an Instagram page as well, where he's got some of the coolest stuff that I've actually ever seen machined. I mean, it's really, really incredible work. So, big shout out to him. And again, he knows what he's doing. So, yes, I understand why you'd be a little concerned about, a little concernicist about these different cables here. But again, enough that we've learned from our mistakes, right? You know, fry $1,000 motherboard and you learn quickly, very quickly. So on top of that, those are those two cables. I also wanted to a big shout out to Sai, who sent me, well, we were actually complaining back and forth, as you can see here, about Final Fantasy VII Remake. I am a huge Final Fantasy VII buff. I played the heck out of the game, and then they did a remake, and I was super excited. We got to play it at PAX and do the demo and stuff like that, and it was incredible. However, Sony decided to make it exclusive to PlayStation 4 for the first year. So Sai and I were going back and forth about, yeah, freaking year. Can't believe it. Like, we gotta sit here and wait for it to come out on PC. Even though I just played it. I just played it. Come on, guys. You're really making me hang here. I don't like it. So, but again, Sai's actually all the way out in Fiji, and he's been one of our greatest supporters since we pretty much started. And he sent me another message, actually a post this morning that was dang funny. So I thought I would share it with you guys. Yeah, as you can see, the priest is blessing the firearms, so there you go, plus 10 holy damage, right? Thank you again, Sai. That made my day a heck of a lot better than it was going. So, again, thank you, and appreciate your continued support. The other thing that I wanted to talk to and get into today was a little bit of gaming, and what we were talking about, the different games that are out and people are playing. Season 3 Call of Duty Modern Warfare, yeah, sick, dude! You can finally have 4 people in a squad. It's about time, Blizzard. Like, what the heck? You jerking my chain here? I only got 2 friends? This is ridiculous. So, Season 3, wow, fantastic. Wow! Wow, it's an SK. It's an SKS. Oh my god. Took you long enough. Anyways, so the cool thing is that there's, I guess, ways that you can spend money on making your character look cool. And, you get reset, like you do every year, or every season, which I just found out. So, like, I got up to, like, 100 and, I don't know, 120 or something like that. And then you got reset, boom, back to 50. And then you got to do it all over again. So it's like, man, really, Blizzard, you guys are getting it in there and turning it for me. But, alright, whatever. If you enjoy the game, which we do enjoy playing with Solitude, Zach, our buddy, and John. Yesterday we were actually on a stream and did one, and we did okay. It wasn't terrible. But, again, it's Modern Warfare, so there's going to be some shenanigans as is. But, the other thing that was coming out that I was actually turned on to by my buddy Corey here at work, one of our amazing warehouse associates here, the New World, which is actually coming out in May is what they said, but I just read something that it was delayed again. But I wanted to show you guys the trailer first because I wanted to talk about the trailer and then the gameplay real quick. And then that's pretty much all I had planned for today. So, let's take a look at this trailer quickly and tell me what you guys think. If you guys haven't seen this, let me know. If you have seen it, well, then you can mute it for 1 minute and 52 seconds. Teens only, so if you're younger than a teenager, then get the heck out. But I figured you were probably older than a teenager because you had to click yes to the 18 plus thing. Anyways, so, here we go.
It is an eternal island of legend, a place of unimaginable beauty and a growing evil, where the forces of death and life are in constant conflict.
Did that elk plant just... Okay, that was kind of cool.
For centuries, many have come in search of its power. Only to fall to its corruption. This place, lured by the promise of power and immortality. The darkness will claim you. Do you really want to live forever?
Wow. Wow. As a avid movie trailer person who loves movie trailers, they tend to give too much away. However, I thought that for a game trailer was fantastic. But we're going to do 2 plus 2. And what I'm going to say is there's 2 things I like and there's 2 things I really don't like. First thing that I really like, the graphics look incredible, but again, this is just a trailer. So, okay. Alright, fine. The second thing I do like is that they're actually putting some sort of story behind it, and it seems like it's going to be more than just while running around for quests or something, like WoW is or whatever. So that's cool. The 2 things I don't necessarily care for is the fact that, well, there's this thing here that says games with that whole Amazon thing. So, you know, Amazon being the unruly beast that it is, can be a great thing or a terrible thing. However, the other thing I don't like is that it's just a trailer, so I'm not really sure, right? So we'll have to see. But the other video that I wanted to show you was from IGN, which is actually going over parts of the game here. And they were going to talk about a little bit of it. It's only 4 minutes long. I figured you guys might be okay with hanging out with me while we talk about it here for a second. But what I thought we would do is share this and see what it looks like. I mean, it looks pretty, but supposedly there's some gameplay in this, so let's take a look.
Finding success as a new MMO in a crowded market is no small task. Amazon Games hopes to add New World to the small list of truly successful, big-budget, non-free-to-play MMO games when it releases this May on PC.
Alright, let me stop you right there. Amazon Games. Okay, let's continue.
We recently got the chance to try out New World at a small demo at the Amazon Games offices and got to see their vision for this ambitious MMO firsthand. In New World, you take on the role of an intrepid adventurer that lands on the shores of a strange foreign land known as Eternum that's overflowing with a powerful substance. It's up to you to decide the fate of the land, vie for control over its territories, and wage war against enemies. But it takes a while to get to the good stuff. The first several hours of New World were about as predictable and cookie-cutter as PvE content can get in an MMO.
That right there, I'm hoping, isn't the final skins, because that looks, well, great and terrible. But let's keep going.
There are lots of checklist quests and tons of tedious backtracking across mostly lifeless zones and a grind to reach the actually fun parts. There are open world events and boss enemies to fight, but we didn't get to try any of that in our demo. Thankfully, the fun bits are really, really fun and will likely be worth the grind for the right type of player, namely the combat. The developers specifically cited Dark Souls as heavy inspiration, and it shows.
That
Rather
looks
than
good.
targeting enemies and cycling through your auto attack and lock-on abilities, you have to actually be focused on every attack. Each weapon has actual weight and hit detection based on its physical movement in space, including projectiles, which makes PvP extremely intense. It's a thrilling rendition of typical MMO combat. New World also does not have a class system at all. Instead, you level up your base attributes through accruing XP and then also level up each of your weapon mastery trees alongside your base level.
That looks really good. Agreed? Can we all agree that that looks pretty good? Especially if it's an MMO and you're all playing together. Those graphics, those are okay.
From the very start, it's obvious that New World is built around PvP as the endgame goal. All of the PvE content feels engineered to teach you the base mechanics before you're thrust into the massive territory control war battles. These battles are undoubtedly the main draw and main focus in New World and feature enormous 50v50 player conflicts. In these battles, companies, aka guilds, do battle at large castles to try and take control of entire regions where players live and carry out their lives in-game. The entire economy in New World will be completely player-driven, so owning territories, setting tax rates, and controlling the flow of goods is crucial to the game's flow.
Wow.
There is a PvE alternative to the PvP wars referred to as invasions that take place at the keeps with a similar large-scale format against NPC enemies, but none of that was available for testing during the preview event. We also didn't get to see the magic system at all. If the PvP side of things can live up to its promises, it may convert typically PvE-focused players into believers purely on the depth and intensity of its combat and interfaction disputes alone. But until we see more creativity from the PvE side of things or a clearer picture of what the path to endgame actually looks like, it's unclear if this upcoming MMO will hold players' interest long enough for them to get to the good stuff. For more on...
Alright, I think we'll stop it there because they're just going to wrap up everything. Alright, so I think it looks great. It does look like it'll be fun. However, I'm going to have to agree with Dave, who's also in the chat here, who taxes, what is this, New York State Simulator 2020? I thought that was damn funny. If you live in California or in New York State, you know all about these taxes and how wonderful they are to pay them. However, I kind of cringe on that too because it kind of, well, it's like any auction house or any game. Because there's just people that end up cracking out on the game and then do nothing else but that. So you're talking like people that just dominate servers in certain areas because of X, Y, and Z, and they literally have no life other than doing this. But, you know, it could be fun. It might be fun. So there it is. That's the New World. It's brought to you by Amazon Games, I guess. Again, Amazon Games. Not really entirely sure how that'll all hold out, but whatever. It is what it is. I thought it looked interesting. It did have some decent footage. I am not really too sure what these two beasts are. They look pretty cool, but they are under the influence of something. Look at him. Look at his eyes. You can see it. You see it in his eyes. But again, something maybe that we'll take a look at when it comes out in the next couple months here. Well, it says next month, but again, I don't believe that. It'll probably be in 2 months or so, or 3 or 8 or who knows. But we'll see. We'll see what it looks like. Last but not least, today on the news update, I wanted to talk about our last guest that we had, which was Random Design, Stefan, and his lady, Catherine. They actually have a stream coming up tomorrow on their Twitch. It's Twitch TV Random Design. Give them a follow and a like and a view. Tomorrow they are going to be doing some live updates about some of the modding and stuff that they're doing for their next project. So that is definitely something that we will be taking a look at just to see what's going on. If you didn't know, he put this together, which is the Pokemon I Choose You build, which is unbelievable. Those Pokemon are actually in the reservoirs, which is kind of cool. And it was based off of the new the new Pikachu detective movie, as you can see, that he did all sorts of craziness on. So make sure you join him and his lady tomorrow. They'll be streaming. To be perfectly honest with you, I think he said 11 o'clock Eastern time. Well, they're not East. I mean, they are, but yeah. Anyways, make sure you check them out. They're on Twitch. They're also on Instagram at Random Design. On Instagram, they are Random Design 3D. On Twitch, it's twitch.tv/Random Design. Other than that, I will bid you a welcome and a far goodbye from the ModMyMods studio here. And make sure that you guys are staying safe out there. Wash your damn hands, because, well, obviously that's how we flatten this whole curve thing, and maybe we can return to life sometime soon. Other than that, have a wonderful afternoon, a great weekend, stay safe, and we'll catch you next week.